Hey guys, welcome back to 7 Questions with Emmy. Today I'm so happy to be talking with incredible violinist Lindsey Stirling, who also competed and should have won Dancing with the Stars.
Oh my goodness, I love you already, Emmy.
Thank you for talking with me, Lindsey.
Oh my gosh, thank you for chatting with me. And I love that you have your Christmas tree up and your cozy fireplace. I love it.
Thank you. How did you dance with the broken ribbon Dancing with the Stars? I wanted you to win. We voted for you every week. How do you dance with the violin?
Oh my goodness, so many good questions. Well, thank you so much for voting for me on Dancing with the Stars. I had such a good time on the show. And yes, I did. I injured my rib on the show, and they like taped up my whole side with medical tape to try to keep me together. And sometimes you just have to go out there and the show must go on, even though, sometimes you may not be at your best. And so it was painful, but it was worth it. I kept doing it. And then I've just practiced a lot of years to learn how to be able to dance with a violin. And at first it seemed impossible, but I think I still continue to get better and better.
Have you ever dropped your violin while on stage dancing or hit yourself with a bow? How do you keep going?
I did once. Yes, I have. So I have dancers that are with me on stage, 4 amazing dancers. And one time I got too close to one of the girls. And so her hand flew out, when she was dancing, and it hit my violin and it went like spinning out of my hand. And it was also funny because it was a minute into the show. We had just started the show. I just walked on stage, and then boom, my violin hits the ground. And it was like, ring, 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 through the whole audience. And but you know what? It was like a moment of, oh! And then I looked and the violin wasn't broken, but I just like ran, grabbed it, and like grabbed another one because I have like 4 violins that I tour with, and then just continued on with the show. And you keep moving and you just say, we're not going to remember that anymore. We're going to move on, and I'm going to focus on the rest of the show. Because if you focus on what just happened or what went wrong, then there's always something tiny at least that goes wrong every show. Hopefully, usually the audience doesn't ever know, but in that case they all knew, and you just keep going on.
You have a virtual concert coming up. Tell us about it, and what is your favorite song you'll be performing?
Okay, so like you, I can see by your background, I love the holidays. I love Christmas. And, I've done a Christmas tour for the last, 3 years in a row. And since I couldn't tour this year, I wanted to do a Christmas virtual show. Oh, there's my little puppy, by the way. Hi, Una. Say hi. But yeah, the Christmas concert is something I've been working on all day, every day for 3 months straight. I just finished editing it all last night, and it's super magical. I really think it's going to bring people laughter and joy. I think it will. There's moments that will make people feel emotional and maybe even cry. Who knows? But the good kind of tears, not bad tears. And so I'm just really excited to share it. It's very colorful, very lots of dancing, lots of costumes and sparkles. And my favorite song to perform on it was probably, I really love Carol of the Bells. It's my favorite Christmas song.
We are going to buy tickets for your virtual concert.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I hope you love it. I hope you have so much fun watching it with your family.
Do you ever get tired of practicing? How do you keep practicing when you don't want to?
Oh man, I definitely get tired of practicing sometimes. It's definitely not always fun. But I've just learned that you gotta sometimes make it through the not fun stuff in order to be able to do the fun stuff. Like, I love getting to write music. I love getting to do performances. And if it's like when I'm sitting in that moment and I'm like, I do not want to play these parts of the music anymore. I'm sick of them. But I think to myself, well, but it'll allow me to do what I love. And so I keep on practicing.
What do you do with all of your costumes?
You know what? I just recently started to sell some of them. I auction them off for charity. And so it's been really cool. It's actually something I only started this year. But every few months or so, I'll put up about 5 new costumes on an auction site, and all the money goes to help either people who are struggling with medical needs or medical bills, or people that are out of work because of COVID. But then the ones that I really like, I keep because I just love costumes so much.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is, I really like bright colors, so I really like a bright orange.
I saw in a video you like cereal. What kind is your favorite?
I do. I love cereal, and my favorite cereal is probably kind of boring, but I love wheat checks. And then I like to sprinkle a little bit of sugar on them, but for some reason, like that hearty wheat checks are my favorite.
Now I have some bonus questions for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
How and when did you get your first violin?
Oh, I got my first violin. Well, how old are you, Emmy?
7.
You're 7. Okay, so I was just a little bit younger than you. I was 6 years old when I started playing the violin, and I had just heard a lot of violin, and my parents used to play like classical music and orchestra music in our home. And so I begged for violin lessons when I was just about your age. And then I started when I was 6. It was a little tiny violin too. It was a little baby one.
I want to play violin too someday.
Do you? Well, you are the perfect age to start. So if you wanted to start, now would be a great time.
How did you become this famous, and did you ever think that you would?
I never thought I would get to share my music with so many people, or that, like, I don't know, that I can't believe sometimes how many people watch my videos. It's crazy to me when I'm like, wow, those are people that are watching. Those numbers equal people. That's crazy to me. But I think it was just honestly the reason that I have been successful is because of persistence. There have been a lot of times when people told me I couldn't do it, or when I would release a song or a video and it would do terribly and I'd be discouraged, or I'd feel like I did bad in a performance and be embarrassed. I've had lots of those moments, but it's just kind of like what you said earlier. Like, you just got to pick yourself up and keep going and say, okay, that wasn't my best performance, or that wasn't my best, received song. We're going to do another one, and it's all just about one foot in front of the other. If you keep going and if you're persistent, a lot of times that's the biggest key into being successful.
Have you ever wanted to quit playing violin?
Yes, I did. I almost quit a couple times. Once when I was a teenager, I almost quit. And my mom, she was like, "Oh, Lindsey, I've put so much money and into your violin." She'd paid for my lessons, and my parents paid for like all the violins, and so my mom asked me to please just play for a few more months. She's like, "Make it to the end of the year, and then if you want to quit, you can quit." And so I did. I kept playing. I was like, "That's fair." And I played till the end of the year, which was about 6 months later. And by the time I got there, I had gotten through that slump and I didn't want to quit anymore. I also almost quit in college, and then thankfully I kept playing. I started to make it fun again. I was like, I need to play, different kinds of music and try new things. I don't need to quit. I just need to make it fun again.
Before we go, my grandma Kathy started to learn to play the violin a few years ago, and you were her inspiration. Could you say hello and shout out to her?
Yes, you said it's your grandma Kathy? Well, hello, Grandma Kathy. I think that is amazing. I absolutely love that. And that makes me so excited to hear because, it's never like I always think all the time sometimes that, oh, I wish I had learned that, or I wish I had done that in life. And Grandma Kathy is an example that, heck, you don't have to learn everything when you're a child. We can learn it at any time in life. So you're a rock star, Grandma Kathy.
Thank you for talking with me, Lindsey.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for your time. You are a fabulous interviewer. I really appreciate all your really thought out questions.
Can I tell you one more thing?
Oh, please. Yeah.
So can you come to Idaho sometime for a concert?
Oh, you're in Idaho. I do love Idaho. I have a couple friends up there. And yes, I'm sure that when we can tour again, we will come back to Idaho.
My dad went on a concert once with my mom, and last time they had to come home in the middle of it because I got sick.
Oh no.
And it was your concert, Lindsey. It was your show.
Oh, it was my show. I'm so sorry you got sick and you guys had to leave halfway through. Well, I'll come back and we'll make sure that you got good seats and then you can see the whole show.
And you can come this time.
Okay, sounds good.